I ain't say heat, that's lock, y'all know, call me the stick king. Got it poppin' like bing, bing, yeah, I got these streets jumping. From the club to the block, see me. From the hood to overseas, I be throwing up that set I real. And I came to collect my check. I'm sticking like a mother. Am I strapped with the 5-5? Am I? On real sitting high? Am I? From they kind of thrill fire? Am I? I'm about to go banana, be myself and we gon' ride. I'm about to go banana, be myself and we gon' ride.
Welcome to Getting Rich Off Mondo. My name is Edward Randall, and I'll be your host. Today, we're going to discuss the Kyrie Irving, Isaiah Thomas trade, and who's the winner and who's the loser of this trade. And I think just straight up, right off the bat, easily, it's Irving. But we'll get to that in a second. We've been on a vacation. You know, when you're online every day, 4-5 years straight, taking care of things, handling business, after a while you have to take like a must remove yourself from the internet, computers, tablets, phones for at least 3 months. It's hard in the beginning, but after a while you get used to it. It's kind of like, oh, I can sit here and not scroll for an hour and a half on Instagram, or sit here and, my other addiction is eBay. Once I get started, researching this, researching that, checking this out, doing a lot of things. But I did feel the need to stop and record a show, specifically on this scenario. Now, of course, even though I'm not partaking in the matrix itself, I'm unplugged, people still talk. So when I'm hanging with the homies, they're discussing all the different scenarios that Kyrie Irving was upset and had wanted a trade. So when they told me that, first thing I said was, he'll never play in the Cleveland uniform again. That's it. If he wants to leave, that's what he's going to get, because he hasn't made a sound, a noise, not that I've ever heard, about anything about the countless times a reporter has walked over to him and asked him a question about LeBron James. Why this? Why that? Why did he shoot? Why didn't he shoot? Why didn't he pass it to you? Why did you pass it back to him? Can we just play the game? Let them make those on-court plays. But ask him about what he did. For a long time, he was there by himself, struggling, coming up from the very, very bottom. Then LeBron shows up. Now, of course, his talent has been recognized, but to me, not enough. Not enough accolades for Kyrie Irving and what he has done and contributed to the better of the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have a ring. He's got a ring. So if you're unhappy, why stay? You got your ring. You did what you set out to do. You accomplished the goal of bringing a championship. You were a very big part of it. And I would imagine that locker room chemistry is really not good because of the constant light that's put on them as a team. So if he was ready to go, then I guess he's ready to go. And his wish has been granted. Now, The loser on the other half of this is Isaiah Thomas. Just quickly, you already know that the fans in Boston they have a lot to be happy about. They got it going on, and I think that city is, sports-wise, is very good place to be. And Cleveland is more like, what have you done for me lately kind of fans. That's just an observation. Allegedly, they're crispy, crunchy, allegedly. But LeBron's still there. So now he's got an extra load, but that's him. Now, was Gordon Hayward set up? Did they do the flipping switch on him? Did they get him there? And maybe he wants to play with Thomas. Maybe that was a huge factor. I couldn't imagine Al Horford being the reason. Really? Seriously? I mean, to me, Al Horford still looks green. And I don't mean in a Celtic way. He just looks green. Like, he needs to. He's just not doing it from the center position. Neither was who replaced him, Dwight Howard. That's why they ran his ass out of there. But, he's not going to even be a second or third option. I mean, there's a lot of people firing the ball off. You're going from like this balanced offense that he was controlling into like the Golden State clone, where it's just all threes and LeBron down the middle. They're bowling a strike, and they'll pick up the spares. That's all it is. Threes and LeBron. And you now. But Kyrie, on the other hand, he gets to get out of the LeBron shadow. He knows that when these reporters are strutting over to where he's at, that they want to talk about him and what the Celtics plan on doing to win it all. And maybe the numbers go up, maybe, and the Vegas odds are, maybe they went from 3-1 to 2-1. Who knows? They've got the experience, the current experience. So, what else does Irving get? Now he gets to be the number one option. He gets to run a real offense instead of this rapid fire, semi-automatic, flip it to automatic, 3, oh, we in trouble, shoot a 3, to like a more controlled offense, half court. You're gonna work it into Horford. They got all these options. You got Hayward. You got the good bench. You got the good coach. You got the crazy GM. And I'm not for sure what the picks are. We're just going off the general trade. But Boston is a hotter spot, and Kyrie is going to benefit from being in that scenario as opposed to Cleveland. Cleveland is just, it was LeBron everything all the time. LeBron all the time. Nobody's talking about Kyrie. Not to me. It didn't seem like that to me. And I pay attention too. I pay attention to shit. I do. I pay attention to what the ratio is. And the ratio is 92% LeBron. And everybody else got to scramble for this other 8. So J.R. Smith just does weird shit. Shumpert keeps a crazy haircut. And Kevin Love looks like, he's finna get shot. His facial expression. I guess that's enough to keep the other 8% rolling. But it's LeBron all the time. Now you go to a city that is in a frenzy with the Patriots and the Red Sox now you are in the mix and got the tools to win. I mean, in the scenario that Boston gets Hayward and Kyrie Irving, that's a win. And I'm not saying that Cleveland is downgrading by getting Thomas. That's not the case. You're trading elite, someone who is elite, to someone who just became elite. So I don't know. Maybe they're looking at down the road, which Cleveland really should be looking hard as fuck with the LEDs down the road. But we're talking about right now. So for Thomas, it's a loss that you built this thing. He should start hanging out with Mike Singletary, because they did the same thing to him when he was out there with the 49ers, because they was all complaining. Just like how they did Tony Dungy down in Tampa Bay. They should all hang out, because they use you to build this thing. You brought the friendly face, the competitive play, the drive, everything you need to win. You brought this. Now you're gone. And is it fair? I don't think it's fair. I mean, but this win now. See, this is one of the problems that was caused by Danny Ainge sitting on those picks, where to me it made Thomas expendable because he needed to get all the doubt. There was still some doubt left. Like, should he have pulled the trigger quicker on Hayward? And maybe you could have got somebody else, or you just kind of danced around like the fine girl at the dance, just dancing with herself because she's into herself right this second. So now, any little bit of doubt that the shareholders all the way down to the fans would have about Danny Ainge's will to wheel and deal, no matter which way it came from, this is like leaving Vegas with the car that was on the turntable up there and the jackpot for the day. This is the cigars and free drinks for everybody. Let's see y'all later. Give me my car so I can go. Trunk full of money. You're out the door. Winner. Big time. And that's what it looks like. It looks desperate for me on the Cleveland standpoint. Then, if I'm not mistaken, he had one more year, if I'm not mistaken. And if that's the case, it looks desperate. But it's a win for Boston. It's a win for Danny Ainge and how Danny Ainge handles things. And it's just solidifying the legacy of the Boston sports world in this current era of winning. Now that's all they need. NBA title. They'll be doing good down in old Boston. And Cleveland just be chugging along. I thought it was critical that I do a quick winner and loser. Didn't want it to be really long and draw it out. Just that I say, winner, Kyrie Irving. Loser, Isaiah Thomas. I have more reasons at a later date when we see what the initial jump off is going to be in the part 2. Fan reaction, just the style of play. See, Thomas, to me, he likes to come down and break it down and break his defender down. Now, it seemed like when Kyrie did that, they were criticizing him. Oh, you got the ball too long. Okay, that's what the fuck the 24-second shot clock is for. If it take him a second to break somebody down, he's working on the next play. Like, damn, he just worked me like old potatoes in a sharp knife. He's working on the defender's mental and the next guy that's sitting over on the bench like, damn, I had to guard this nigga. He's on it tonight. Damn, But if you put that lockdown defender in there that can't offer offensive capability to help continue this workflow that's on the floor for the scoring, then you're losing and he's winning. And that's what it is. It's Kyrie Irving. It's Uncle Drew. It's all these people, all these personalities in one. So you're getting a lot. You know what you're getting with Thomas? Straight up, rough, rugged, very small, but unstoppable. Unstoppable. His gameplay, his game style, if he gets off the floor, that's his thing. That's how he works you. He works you hard because he's so little. You got to really get down there where he's at. Then he's going to teach. So we'll see how it works. I mean, but I think that the Celtics would be above Cleveland as far as title contention this year. Really. I do. This is exactly the mix. See, that there was no interest at all. The East was just like bad cooking every night. Every night, bad cooking. It don't matter what it looks like. If you live long enough, you've eaten food that looked the part but tastes like shit. So this is what you eating. It's right there. You're like, oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, bad. Still bad. Every night. Now, there's some variety on the table because now there's something to talk about. There's some animosity, new tension. Just overnight, just creating. That's what they're good at. You go to sleep, you wake up. They've created these scenarios all the way across the board. Sports, real life, all this, just scenarios overnight. Go to sleep, wake up, pow. Scenario. New scenario. We need to get the East. Because, see, when they lost Paul George, it's like the East lost Paul George. The East lost Butler. So you took the nucleus. It just seemed like they didn't have the star power yet. Like they've been working on Paul George, but Butler, he is working his way up to that elite status as far as there go Jimmy Butler. So, but being with Krause and them in Chicago and not caring and all these, people that come from the championship era that are help running the team, who they are is the problem. They don't care. I don't think. But you got all these scenarios going on now. With John Wall staying in Washington, Dwight Howard on this carousel of jersey collections. Whatchamacall, down in Miami, Whiteside staying there. That is huge because Miami is going to be sneaky. And then I don't know where Dwayne Wade is going to play. Who knows? I don't know. Because like I say, I'm out of the mix currently as far as technology on my vacation. But this was something that, at least I have this show. This is serious. This is very serious. 8/23/2017. This is serious. Because what this does is it's going to create this atmosphere where Kyrie Irving is going to show LeBron James what it looks like from the other side. Like, homie, you didn't even know how many missiles you had when you had me on the damn deck of the ship. Now you looking at that ship firing across the bay at your ass. Bam. Here you go. And it's just going to create that whole thing. Then they'll be all sympathetic when whatchamacall comes back to Boston. They'll be like, oh, he was so good. He was. And he's gone overnight. Just like that. Bam. So we need like one more thing. They're going to have to do one more thing before the season starts. Anything short of Kaepernick playing small forward for the Hawks, which is possible. It wouldn't shock me, but they need one more thing to get the East in that constant talk. Like they just been talking about the West constantly, all the time. It's like, is there even an East? You have to look all the way around the corner. Oh, there they go. There's the East. But now they got some bulk. Like, oh shit, the East been lifted, right? Oh, you run into the East down here at the GNC instead of the Brewster's ice cream. You know the East is coming back hard. So they're just one more trick. They need one more trick pony. It could be anything. But like I say, when they took Butler and when they took George, this is part of the repair. Or else there just wouldn't have been anything to talk about as far as they're concerned. The East just would have been, now you know. And like I say, you have to keep your eye on Miami. Miami's coming. I don't know what Bosch gonna do or where he gonna play, but Miami is gonna be the one to watch. That's what I think. So it's good to get my little predictions in now, But we'll jump into a NBA show here coming up this season. But like I say, Kyrie Irving, it's just a win. It's just such a serious win because there is Boston versus Cleveland. Really? And that's not to upset Cleveland fans, even though I don't give a fuck. And that's from a Chicago boy saying that. Cavs and Bulls, you know what I'm saying? Elo and Doherty and Price and Harper. Watch them, swing it out with the Bulls. So, but really, it's going to be a very interesting scenario. A very big one that'll have all the needed built-in air pressure. It's like a run flat. Celtics got run flats now, so it don't matter. They ain't stopping. Appreciate you stopping by, checking me out. We look forward to some big things. Season 3. I've been your host, Edward Randall. This is Getting Rich Off Mondo.